Right, okay, I should be back on. So, hopefully now, we can get this working. So, this thing's a trial thing. I've got a 30-day trial. But if this works, and it's not very expensive, I'll buy it. There might even be a free program that does the equivalent of this. So, what I want is obviously to get the live chat again and do a pop-out chat. So, there we go, pop-out chat. I'll set it to live chat. Then, what we'll do is I will do the thing I was doing before. I think I had to click there. Yeah, there we do. So now I can set top. Yeah, I'm back. Right, I can set this top now. Oh, good, I can change the opacity, which will be great for in a game. So yeah, I might buy this program, assuming it's not like a monthly subscription thing, and it's Right, the only thing is, it's a bit awkward doing this sort of thing. But, again, I want to adjust the opacity. How do I do that? Right. Again, this is as you can probably see, it's a bit of an awkward. There we go. So again, that opacity looks good because I should be able to see the game underneath it. So we're going to stick that up there like that, and it's set to the live mode. So now if I go to Steel Division, yeah, I can see your message there, although I'm going to mess with the opacity of this now. I just have to hope it doesn't stop me clicking on game things. Yeah, I'm going to probably want the opacity actually more like that. Again, I'm going to set it probably like that in the hope it doesn't... Steel Division 2. So yeah, we're going to have a look at this finished deck. I am going to go back to the live stream I'm currently on YouTube, just so on the phone again, just so I've got it on a second window in case I do need to check anything. But okay, so because Visa was on, we were going to set up the finished deck. Yeah, like I said, I've got Enlisted installed. I've played a bit of it. I haven't played it recently. Unlike War Thunder, though, it hasn't annoyed me to the point where I don't want to play it again. Right. So what do we get as? Oh look, we get the finished swastika look. See if YouTube demonetizes the stream. So these are little recon tanks. What I'd kind of like with this always on top thing is if I could have it always on top, but I can click through it. Like, does picture in picture do that? To drag the window, enable the cursors not above the text. Okay. Oh, it's hidden it now. I don't want it hidden. Just drag. You go away. Yeah, I don't want the wizard up. Right, I might have to do the pop-out chat again because I don't know what it's done there with that. See, it's done picture in picture there, look, but I don't want it like... Oh, I see what it's doing with it, but yeah, that's no good for what I want. Don't want picture in picture with it. Again, is there a way with this pop-out chat thing I can actually make it so... What I basically want with it is to be able to click through it, so it's like at the top, but it's not the actual window. Oh, I can enable crop, that's good. So what I can do is, oh, do I crop the bit I want? Oh, let's cancel that. Yeah, we'll just leave it like this for now, but the game is Steel Division 2, so it's Eugen's game that's a bit older than... Again, I'm going to have to move that window for now. Let's just put it there for now, and then I'll move it. Because again, I want the tanks to be lower ranks. I get more than these are just recon tanks, so... BAFC, again, it's got the swastika on the side, we must cancel this game. So what do these guys have? Suomis... PPS 43s. It's probably continuation war period, although they are fighting the Russians, so it's later than the normal winter war if they've got PPS 43s. Yeah, I like recon infantry. Let's get some of those. What can I have them in? Again, we can have different vehicles for them. Kugelwagen. Kugelwagen's speed is 40 kilometers and 80 kilometers. What's this Italian thing's speed? 35-70, so it's not as good. Okay, we'll put them in Kugelwagens. What's the other type of recon infantry got? Oh, they're like sniper ones. Actually, yeah, let's get the sniper guys instead. So they're less good, I guess, if infantry get close, but they're better at picking units off. Right, we'll have them deployed on the motorbike. Cheers. Yep. So, yeah, but like I was saying, Restore, I like the sound of them. But like I said, I'm just more worried about them splitting the vote on the right. We'll go back to infantry. I want to see what tanks I get. Sturmy, so that's a Stug, isn't it? The Sturmy. So let's have loads of low rank ones. I love Stugs, so let's have as many of those as possible. Sotka 85, so that's a captured T-34. I'll have some of those. Oh, another Sturmy. That's a command Sturmy. So that's a T-34-76. They're right. Let's have some of those. What's this one? Kalimi. Is that a KV? Yeah, I think that's a KV. And Panzer IV. Let's have some Panzer IVs. I'll have them lower ranked so I can have more of them. Again, that means each individual tank is less skilled, but they're better in terms of not fucking up. As in, sorry, if I fuck up the game. They're better in that regard. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream. Thank you for saying that, Stalker. I forgot. The Australians that fought in Egypt. Well, I mean, obviously, I know that the Australians and the New Zealanders and... Oh, no, I can't put it there because it's in the way of my things. Again, this is the problem I'm having with this little thing, is I want one where it's... Because ideally, I want an overlay thing like this program does, but one where I can actually just do it as an in-game overlay, where it doesn't, you know, break, so I can click behind it, just like a transparent one. But yeah, regarding the, yeah, so like the Australians, the New Zealanders, the South Africans, you know, there were loads of different, like India, there was loads of different countries from the Empire, the Canadians, that fought with Britain in World War II. It was good, though. So what's this, oh, it's like a command tank. Yeah, we'll have one of them. I definitely want as many supply trucks as possible. BT-42's got like a big derpy gun. I like the look of that. Oh, 152s. Yeah, I want that. Captured 152s. Yeah. Okay, anti-tank. Pack 40s and Pack 38s. Yes, I want lots of those. Can I get any of these with little supply trucks for them or not? Oh, I can get ones with little armoured personnel carriers. The little Italian things like that. Oh, yeah, let's get them in there. Now on Pack 38s as well. Okay, anti-air, what do I get? Is that the Bofors gun? Yeah, Bofors guns are great. Let's get a load of those. Oh, I want them on lower rank, so I get more of them. Oh, I can... Again, I can't show you comments, sadly. Probably because you said Pajit, not Indian. But yeah, I can't show you a comment. Like, not that I don't want it blocked, but YouTube isn't letting me show it. So yeah, typical YouTube. What's guns is? Oh, this is pretty cool looking. So it's an armoured, like Bofors. Okay, artillery. What do I get in terms of artillery? Oh, I get some derpy looking artillery there. As a tracker. Do I get a supply vehicle? Yes, I do. Right, this is what I love doing with artillery, is putting them in with a supply vehicle. And then if I've got any command infantry or command tanks or whatever, you can put them next to it like these guys. And you can buff them that way. Alright, I can still get some planes. So that's like an ace, that guy. So he's got, he's a better pilot. Stuckers are a bit too slow for my liking, as much as I like Stuckers. They're pretty fucking slow. The 109 with the rockets is 530 kilometers an hour, so yeah, I'll get some 109s. And the Dornier, how fast is that? 325, so it's awful. This Dornier is even slower. Brewster Buffalo, but that's not got any bombs on it. And oh, the Blenheim, 390 kilometers, which isn't great, but a Bristol Blenheim, whatever it is, that'll do. Might get that Fiat Recon plane. Okay, that still gives me 5 points to use. What, the Shums mask? That's quite a popular video, because I actually obviously just picked a good thumbnail for that. Right, so I can get probably a load more infantry. And T-28 tanks look a bit shite, so, although saying that, they're pretty bulky, aren't they? I'll get one of those, why not? And T-26s, because they're command vehicles, I might get some of those. Right, I've got one activation point left, so I can get one more set of infantry. So Pioneers, Flamethrowers, oh, guys with Panzerfaust. Yeah, get the guys with the Panzerfaust. So, I can get them in that, yeah, let's get them in that. Right, okay, so I'll call this one Finish Offence. Save that. Right, hopefully Visa comes back on, seeing as I made a finish deck. Right, now let's try it against the AI. So I want to do solo, skirmish, and I want to switch teams because I'm going to be playing as Alright, let's give them just give them a random allied pre-made battle group then. And I want to be then Finland defense. We'll put them on easy, not very easy. This map is quite good. I've got it set to at the moment, so we'll use that map. And then launch, and then I can move the chat window up to the top right. And then hopefully, what does that do? I'll download this just because it's a pop-up. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, because I'm not really going to need to click on that map bit there, so that should be a fine place to have the chat thing. I could put it about there, then it's not in the way of any of the little interfaces. I very much doubt weed would be legalised. Last time they had a thing on it, they asked a guy that actually knew what he was talking about, like the government hired, I think it was Professor David Nutt who knew what he was talking about. He said to legalise it because it's less harmful than alcohol and lots of other things. And the government basically said, thank you for your input, you're fired, and we're going to make it even more illegal. As in, like, you know, you get more time in prison or whatever if you're caught with it. So, yeah, government don't listen to experts, and, you know, the experts said legalise it, it's less harmful if you legalise it. And then the government said, fuck you, we're going to make it more restricted. Again, it's one of those things where the police don't really give a shit if you've got weed on you, because they're more busy arresting people for saying mean things online. But yeah, it's one of those weird things in the UK where it's technically a Class B drug, because it used to be Class C, which is, like, you know, less severe. Like A is stuff like heroin and fentanyl and stuff like that, and crack cocaine. But yeah, they basically, when the government had an expert tell them they hired to make it legal or make it less restricted, the government did the exact opposite of what the expert told them to do. So, yeah, it's one of those things where the government is so fucking useless, and, you know, like, that sort of thing that, yeah. Listen to advice and then do the exact opposite of what the advice tells you. Right, that's a 2-star tank, so I think if I put them near my artillery, it makes my artillery really good. Right, let's move this guy up here. Yeah, I think it's in the Netherlands you can, like, smoke it, can't you? Like in cafes or something for it, like coffee shops, whatever they call them. Right, Bofors guns are great, I want lots of Bofors guns. Put one of these back here, and another one of these, you know, then I use up all my points. Alright, that stuff on the right, I still want to kind of lock that down, so... it's probably the best I can do for now there, and then just put... an anti-tank gun there when I've got enough points. But at least the west side should be pretty locked down. Right, launch battle. And immediately I need to set my artillery to fire at will. I might put one gun on counter battery in a bit, but oh, that T-38 is shit. It doesn't even have a proper gun on it. It just has a machine gun. Okay. Might delete that from the deck and change it for something else later on. But yeah, so I hope Visa comes back on, seeing as I'm just going to Discord him and tell him I'm back on with a finished deck. Because seeing as he's finished, I want him to be actually on the stream. Oh, have we got contact, does it say? No, I haven't, I missed it. Alright, I've sent him a message, so hopefully he comes on. Stuart Recce, reconnaissance vehicle. Alright, that Pack 38 is shooting at that. I can't really describe the smell, because you actually don't really get much of an odour before they knock you on your ass, essentially. So it's kind of hard to say. Again, they smell like ammonia, because ammonia's got its own smell, but that's not helpful if you don't know what ammonia smells like. If I get some of my weaker smelling salts that have kind of lost a lot of their potency, I can maybe tell you of these, because they're not going to... Yeah, these have lost nearly all their potency. Again, you can't really describe what they smell like. It's... You know, it doesn't really have much of an odour, and then you get the reaction as soon as you get the odour. Yeah, as I said, I'm back streaming, so yeah, we've got the Finnish, like, armoured one. I've put a load of captured Soviet vehicles in it, and some German anti-tank guns, a lot of Bofors anti-air, and that Pack 38 is... If they're sending Shermans down there, I might get some more... let's get some Pack 40s to that bit. And some recon. Here comes a Sherman. Oh, my packs can see it good. Okay. Right, I probably want more infantry on the right in a minute. Oh, we had something in the middle there. Again, I want more recon up, but annoyingly I can only get a lot of armoured recon, which you can't put in the woods. Again, I keep wanting to look at the phone now. I'm just going to turn the screen off on the phone, because again, the chat actually may be a good place for the chat window bottom. Again, I was trying to think in this game where messages, like, you know, bits you have to click on pop up, because the only problem is, alright Rich, so I don't know, can you see that if I'm streaming the chat on the window? I assume you can, because I'm assuming it's just capturing my full display. Yeah, you can, good. But I don't want the chat necessarily being blocked by my own webcam, do I? Like I said, the chat's small there, so I can read it. So again, this isn't the best way of doing it. It wasn't how I wanted to set up, but this does at least work. But again, I don't know how much this program costs. Yeah, alright, Super Hornet, I am going to probably stream tonight. It's just that I wanted to do a test stream, because like I said, I had all those issues earlier on setting up the thing. Right, so the artillery guns, 150mm. They look like they're quite good and dirty. What have we got there? Oh, my infantry are running straight into, well, T-26, go up and fucking help them then. Oh my god. Right,
Yes, master.
Don't want my infantry in the open like that. It doesn't even have a proper gun on that, but there we go. Right. So yeah, I need to get used to the fact that I've got my chat window actually on the screen now. Again, maybe it needs to be a little bit higher than that, but I don't want it getting in the way of like that tab there. That's the problem. I suppose I can just shorten it, can't I? And it will just show the more recent messages. Yeah, I'll just have to do it like that and hope that yeah, that should be good like that. Right. Because like I said, the problem is with this is although it's a good overlay where I can read it. Crossbows are legal in the UK, otherwise I wouldn't have done a load of videos on them because I'd be arrested. Again, everything I do videos on is legal, at least at the time when I've bought the stuff to do a video on it. Yeah, crossbows are still legal. I imagine, Alright Rich, I'm going to probably stream this evening. I'm just doing a setup one now to test because I'm trying to have like that chat on the, you know, like left like I've got working now. But again, it's not working as good as it should be working because in Meld I should have been able to just literally have done a well, let's pull that BAF back. My BAF is ignoring orders. That's one of the things I don't like in this game. Is quite often your units once they get into combat just completely ignore your orders. It's basically because the game has a system where most of the units kind of attack and move by default, which I like, but it is really fucking annoying when what do you call it, the units just basically stop listening to any of your orders. Get over there and fucking hit that Sherman with your Panzerfaust.
Kes. Vihollisia, olkaa valmiita.
Alright, again I keep looking at my phone even though I don't need to. Let me turn that on. Alright, classified official. It's easier for me to read it on the screen like that when I'm looking closer to the webcam when I read it. Right, Kivari, hit them with the Panzerfaust. There we go, that's one down. Let's get fucking Stugs in, because they're good. Stir me. Get the stir me. Oh shit, he knows my infantry are there. Right, so my kill def is still good. Yeah, alright, classified official, but yeah, like I said, I'm mostly going to be streaming tonight, but I'm just setting this up now so I can get that chat thing working. But like I said, yeah, with Meld, there's meant to be an option so you can set the chat up so it has its own inbuilt overlay, but it's just not linking up properly to my YouTube. It probably only works, what I reckon it is I reckon it only works if you have like one YouTube account, which is your Google account. And because of how like my channel works, because it's an older type one, I don't reckon it works now. But it's alright, I can use something like this. Right, let's get some more Stugs in. So if we get a command Sturmy as well, so he just gives orders more efficiently to the other ones. And then another Sturmy there. Oh, was there a tank over there I spotted? There's a machine gun team moving up. Raiders. Oh, they're the shitty Italian machine guns. Why is there British troops with a breeder? Oh, they're probably like Free Italy, are they? Like the kind of Italian partisans, whatever they are. Like the, you know, where it's like the end of Italy, because it's like the Italian Socialist Republic in this game, not it's set near 45, so it's like 44, 45 this game. So it's the not the Italian Kingdom of Italy thing for fascist Italy. It's like the German puppet one from right near the end of the war. Right, let's put a Pack 40 there, and another Pack 38 there. Oh, that was a good derpy gun. What was that? It might have been my artillery, actually.
Valmiina ohjeistuksen.
Right, they're getting fucking wrecked on that road. I can put the game on fast forwards if people want me to. Yeah, I'm saying I like playing to the AI, not actual people. Because I play normally like comp stomps with friends sometimes against really hard AI decks, but I don't like playing games like this actually against people who play nothing but RTS games and are really good at them. Right. Let's move up into that wood line there. Right, we've still got combat going on that side. Right, we want to sort of move up on that front now. Yeah, and the Stugs are just on their way in now. Good. I'll probably want to put a bit more armour on this bit here as well. So let's get, how many more Sturmies can I get? Oh, quite a few. Okay. Let's put another Sturmy there. Another recon thing just here. Well, are they towing a fucking gun in? Yeah, it's the British equipped deck, the one I'm fighting, because they've got obviously British uniforms on. I don't know which British deck I'm fighting at the moment. Again, I think it's Free Italy, judging by the names. Oh yeah, it is, look, you see the little Italian flag on it. Yeah, and this is quite a nice looking RTS game. Warno is their more recent one that's Cold War, but this is quite nice in the fact it's much smaller scale maps. Warno is kind of bigger maps, you know, and things like that. So playing this and playing Warno, it's quite a different like pace. Right, they're falling back. Let's get a supply truck up to there, because probably need it. Let's try some of these T-28s, just because they look quite bulky. Again, it's more down to how good the gun is on a lot of these tanks more than anything else. Oh, hello. I haven't unloaded you. So these Cosmolets are obviously just little carrier things, aren't they? If the chat doesn't update in a while, I might reload it. I'm just going to see if that works if I right-click reload on the live chat. Ah, cool, it does. So I can refresh the chat that way if it breaks as well. I assume it's just nobody's put a message in a couple of minutes. Can I have the time codes on here? Yeah, timestamps, let's have that on, because that's useful. Oh. Which Cosmolets did I just set forward to Cosmolets? Broken Arrow, yeah, when that came out, it was apparently a fucking dumpster fire, though. I had it on my, like, wish list for ages, then it came out and was apparently really, really broken. And again, I don't know if they fixed it, but I know when it came out, I lost all interest in it. Because of, like, apparently how broken it was. You know, where people were saying the save function didn't even work, and even very basic things. So it's one of those ones where if they sort their shit out and fix the game, and then it's on a sale, I might get it. But yeah, I completely lost interest with apparently, you know, the complete broken state they put the game out in, despite all the play tests and everything. So again, it's one of those things, like I said, with any of those games, I'm willing to give them a chance if they fix it, but it's another dev that just launches a game in a completely broken, you know, mess, because apparently they have no standards. But yeah, like I said, I was really interested in Broken Arrow before it came out. It was just a case of, as soon as it came out and I started watching every channel I watched, all the initial reviews of it were like, this is fucking broken as shit, you know, and like not even playable in the state it was in. I also heard there was a lot of people being banned by the anti-cheat system that weren't cheating, and then having to get Steam refunds because the developer wouldn't unban them. you know, where they were saying, can you show me what cheats I was using, you know.
Well,
And they were, you know, getting banned, and Steam was siding with all of the people that got banned.
Yes, master. Nyt me saatiin ne.
But yeah, at the moment, like I said, I can't really afford to buy many games like a lot of the other things, because as I said, not currently working a proper job. YouTube's the only thing I'm doing at the moment. And again, that's enough to support me, YouTube, if I keep my expenses really, really low, but it does mean I can't really buy anything new now. Unless, you know, I save up for it over a couple of months. Right, let's push up a little bit on that town in the middle. The consulates can be little cheap bullet magnets. Yeah, again, so it sounds more like people just bitching over other stuff, but yeah, like I said, it's one of those ones. Like I said, it wasn't so much the win rate thing, it was more just, and again, is there any offline PvP sort of mode? Sorry, PvE. What game is this? Steel Division 2. So, I keep wanting to call this Iron Front, but that's an Arma 2 expansion. So it's a World War II RTS made by Eugen Systems, that the people that have done like War Game, Red Dragon and all those, Warno. Ruse, again, that sound effect that just played was from Ruse. Ruse is very old and shit. Sadly, I don't think you can even buy Ruse anymore, because it's one of those ones, I think there was some copyright bullshit to do with it. So like people can't even get the game anymore that, you know, actually would want to spend money on Ruse, because of the fact that right, we're going to need to get some more Sturmies on that road, I reckon.
Yes, master.
I want a bit more firepower directed down that road if they keep putting tanks on that road. Oh, hello, what have we got here? Another Sherman there. Is that visible to all my tanks there? Yep. I need to reinforce this area of tanks as well, aren't I? If I push the right numbers. Got T-34 up the front. Okay, yeah. Did it have that AI on release though? Because I think that was one of the things I heard a lot of people complaining about, that if there was AI, there wasn't enough of it, kind of thing. Yet it did, not a big surprise. Yeah. Again, the really derpy artillery I've got is very nice. This 150mm guns, especially because they can come supplied with their own little artillery tractors full of ammo. So yeah. Because again, if you get artillery, you can call them with a tractor. You always call it in with a tractor with ammo in it. Because if you don't, you know, you're obviously at a massive disadvantage when it comes to, like, you know, you have to, you know, constantly keep calling in supply trucks for them. But obviously the ones you can bring in with their own little supply truck is great. Okay, let's move these up slightly. Where's that pack gun falling back? I want you near the front for plinking people when they open and load a position there. Oh, they're pushing up again. Front line's moving. Let's get these field guns up to the front. We're moving anti-air, because I haven't actually had any planes attack me yet, have I? Right, Sherman's down the main road again. Oh good, he's getting hit from multiple angles now, because I've got the Pack 38s on the There we go. That's like there. Right. So yeah, that's going pretty well. My front line. The artillery's still pounding this thing out in the open here. There we go. I don't really have enough spare infantry to keep pushing that right side effectively. I mean, I can push it a bit more. Let's put... Oh, finally planes! Right, let's see how my anti-air does. Yeah, I probably ought to move that anti-air a bit further up, hadn't I? Because they got their bombs off alright. Yeah, let's get any anti-air up on the right side a lot further up. Because, yeah, that's quite far back in terms of where the lines move to. Yeah, and you can move over there, actually. Let's get them some supplies, because they're worried. So Sam Davidson says, are there any signs of Starmer going? I noticed you've been covering a lot of politics lately, otherwise than anyone else. Well, there should be signs of him going if he had any integrity, but he doesn't. So basically, everything that should have brought down a normal Prime Minister, he's basically ignoring, even though his popularity in the Labour Party's popularity keeps falling month on month on month. So basically, he's just going to destroy his own political party. It's like, you know, he's basically murder-suiciding the country and his party with him, you know. If I'm going, you're going with me, kind of attitude. So, yeah, he's basically, as far as we can tell, despite the fact everything is piling up, you know, and he's the most unpopular... No, don't go that way, you stupid truck. No, 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 don't go that way. Go around the back road. Those Sparielos keep getting their bombs off all night. Right, let's get 109s for going after their planes now. So yeah, so if it was any other Prime Minister, he'd be gone. And apparently part of the problem is the Labour Party doesn't have a good system for getting rid of a Prime Minister if they're really, really unpopular. Like, so with the Conservatives, obviously, they're really good at cooing their own leaders. Because they've done that non-stop. But yeah, with the Labour Party, it seems like there's not a system to do it. So every time somebody comes in that might actually be a challenger for Starmer, basically he just has that person purged before they can cause any issues for him. So it's like one of those things where... yeah, it seems there's not really any system for getting rid of them. Alright, hopefully my artillery hits that field gun. Yeah, there we go, it's aiming for it. Because that field gun's being quite annoying that they're just moving up in the open. What? Oh, it's a 6-pounder. 6-pounder, not even a 17-pounder, but it's still really dangerous. That's the gun my granddad trained on, the 6-pounder. And then when he was actually in the army during World War II, he was on a 25-pounder artillery gun to begin with, and then a 17-pounder anti-tank gun later on. So the 6-pounder's like the older anti-tank gun, which is still fucking dangerous. It's just the 17-pounder was the one that could frontally kill the Tiger 1, and I think a Tiger 2 for its turret ring. So yeah, the 17-pounder was like, you know, literally could delete any tank frontally in World War II. Oh, there was something else that just got blown up. Let's just hit that with my 109, because it's annoying me. So yeah, like, there's a couple of people that want to challenge Starmer, but I think he just keeps literally, like, having them purged and, like, you know, surrounding himself with yes men to the point that, there we go, camera's down. It's a bit of flak coming from there. Didn't spot where it came from, otherwise I'd order artillery on it. But, plane, but I have got a Bofors over there. Oh, good, that's a fighter, and they deployed it way too late. That's good.
Vihollisia, olkaa valmiina.
Fucking bombers again. Again, these bombers are doing quite a good job on that side of Sarajevo. What's the actual speed of a Sarajevo though? It must be fairly good if they're getting them in. I just had a message from my mum I had to reply to. Yeah, and this game doesn't censor the swastikas, so it's quite good because all the German stuff has swastikas on as well. So it's historically accurate, unlike so many games that don't have that on the flag there, because oh, it's offensive, and it's a fucking historical symbol. If you're making something of World War II, it should have the swastika in it. But oh, thank you very much, Sam. Yeah, cheers. Like I said, with my financial situation, it's the fact that my old job was fucking destroying me mentally, like mental health wise, and because I could afford to, at the time get out, I did. So again, I do want to, can I click the heart on your thing? Will it let me? Yeah, well, thank you. So yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, it's one of those situations where, like, obviously I want to get into a job again, but I need to make sure I'm getting into a job that, like, still gives me time for YouTube, still gives me time for family stuff and all that. Because, like I said, the problem with my, other job was I enjoyed it when I started doing it, but it was one of those jobs where the company I worked for got bought out twice, and then it got worse the first time it was bought out, and then the second time it got bought out, loads of the workers got treated like shit, and it was getting to the stage, like I said, where I was just drinking way too much to cope with work stress, which is obviously a really bad thing to do. So since then, I've started, like I said, I barely drink now. And I'm mentally in a much better place, but it's just, again, I need to find a job when I go into one that is not going to fuck me over, kind of thing. But at the moment, like I said, because I can do the YouTube stuff, and I don't have to pay a stupid amount of rent, because I'm living with my parents, which again isn't ideal, but it's, means like the rent is cheap, I can actually at least, do stuff, like YouTube and not really worry. But again, with the cost of living going up, it is definitely one of those things where it's just one of those things where, and again, this is a thing for everybody, no matter what field you're in, that you think, where this amount of money, I could be getting, say, £600 to £1,000 a month, like that before would have been like all of my bills covered with loads to spare. Now I'm like cancelling more and more like subscriptions to stuff like Netflix equivalents, or not on Netflix, but you know what I mean, those sort of things. And I've had to do it where I used to support loads of creators on Patreon, and now I've had to stop doing that myself because, again, can't afford to do it. But it's just the sheer amount, like with food inflation, again, like going on to the politics stuff, like with food inflation, it's one of those things where fuck's sake, I feel like I'm back. Like, again, like the amount food inflation is going up way more. Oh, that's a £17-pounder. Fucking nice Sturmies. Yeah, £17-pounder. Yeah, so it's one of those things that, like, yeah, so, like, they're saying, oh, the cost of living isn't really going up that much, as like a government claim, but then you go and look at the, actual cost of food in supermarkets and things, and stuff, has gone up like over £1 for like a lot of canned food, like 50p to £1 for very basic cheapo food, and that's like the stuff that isn't particularly tasty or nutritious. But it's just, yeah, the cost of everything in this country is insane, but we've got a government that's gaslighting people, going, oh no, it's all under control, we're doing a great job, people have more money in their pocket, and like, no, that is an outright fucking lie, they don't. I get quite animated about this, as you can probably tell, but it's just one of those things with the politicians where they downright fucking gaslight the public and lie about all this stuff. Right, I'm going to tank charge that tree line, even though it's a stupid idea, simply because I don't want them to re-establish themselves into that tree line. So let's get as much armour as possible and just swarm that gun. Those infantry I'm going to move up as well, up to there. And at least the 17 pound is pinned down now with the artillery I've got on it, but
Miehiä maassa.
let's get that other anti-tank gun over there to hit the Sherman. Yeah, my artillery's going to plink that area, but yeah, I do really appreciate it, Sam, because obviously where I'm doing this as my main thing at the moment, like a big donation like that does really fucking help, because yeah, like even if we're thinking about food, if I'm buying cheap canned food, that's maybe 10 cans of like gristly ground beef. So it is, like I said, it's one of those things. And again, it helps me with YouTube stuff, because again, the more extra I get, the more I can say, oh, I might get a gas mask again or whatever. But after getting that dagger and that recently, yeah, I realised this month, I like spent more than I should have done. So I'm like at the stage now where I'm like, next month I really need to not buy anything, I think, and just let an entire month's sort of stuff re-add up. Because the problem I also have is obviously like my mum is scared of using any of her cards online. So I have to use my credit card if she wants to get anything, then she has to pay me back in cash. Then I have to go to a post office because my local bank's closed to cash that money in. So, it's like one of those things where it just means every now and then, like, my bank balance is scarily low because my mum or like another relative's had to buy something that's like, they actually really need, not like luxury things, but oh, here comes the plane again. So it's just again one of those things where at least I've got enough act now that they're oh no, did he get his bombs off? For fuck's sake, he did get his bombs off. Oh god damn, that was a good hit as well. So yeah, it's just one of those really annoying things where obviously it's a necessity and we have to do it. And I do obviously get all the money back, but it is obviously really annoying to have to worry like, oh, because other people need to use my card as well, and then I can't put the money back on it instantly. I need to yeah, see a steel you used to be steel battle droid, didn't you? Now steel douchebag. But yeah, see ya.
Tää kuuluu. Meittiin osui.
Just charge the fucking anti-tank guns. There's enough of you there. You should be able to be scary enough to because at least if I put enough fire on them, they won't be able to shoot back at me, because they'll be suppressed and whatever. So yeah, come on, just keep, even if you don't get good hits. Oh good, they killed them. I reckon there's going to be more in the tree line I'm going to push up on, but I just need to, like that one, but I just need to really rush them at this point. Because again, they can just outrange me because they've got better AT guns and I've got, other stuff. Right, yeah, let's just keep deploying all my tanks. Again, this isn't a very smart way of playing the game, but they've kind of got me in a fucked position at the moment. Go for that gun on the right, it's scarier. Go for the 6 pound. Right, good, they're fucking off. Keep the pressure up on them. T-38s, go just for, I just want you to hit nothing but that 6 pound, because they're the things that actually will shoot the tanks more effectively. Oh, Daiti! Thank you. He's got a brain gun. I really need to get a supply truck for those guns there. Yeah, I think we have broken through at least there now. But like I said, I don't want to move the tanks into those woods. I just simply want to keep the tanks there so they can't set up field guns again on that side. Oh, can my snipers finally get a chance to do something at the moment? That would be good. Right, let's see what the snipers do. Oh, nice. Yeah, one shot, one kill. Yeah, those snipers are good. Okay, I like these snipers a lot. Okay, you can go back to the tree line now. Alright, okay. So yeah, like with Starmer, I think his days are numbered. I think he's fucked, but he's just being a really shit leader that, you know, is refusing to go when it's for the best of the country. Because, and he's doing the never hear Kia thing as well, isn't he, again, where he's fucked off to another foreign thing where he can buddy up with foreign leaders that, you know, actually won't complain about him so much. So I was going to read your thing out. Did you just misspell something? I'll reread it when you've typed it back out if you misspelled something. Oh yeah, I can get things in support, can't I? I'll call those as well. Right, let's move all the shit forwards now over to there. They're going for that £6 or whatever it is. Yeah, I want them again. I wish in this game you could concentrate fire, like tell your things, like if there's an anti-tank gun, you always shoot that first, because they're the scariest things. But quite often your unit's like, oh, there's some infantry that have no anti-tank weapon, I better waste my shells on them. Right, so go back to comments. Yeah, well, I think it's because, in some ways, I think it's because, you know, they have to take stuff away, you know, like, there's a chance they could, you know, take everything away from us and all that. You have to be quite a calm and collected person. Or I think part of the problem is, in America, is because so many people take the Second Amendment for granted and all that, they get that stupid attitude. Like, you know, I was talking to a load of Americans about this the other day, because obviously you get the sensible Americans that, you know that they are lucky to have the Second Amendment and, like, the freedom of speech of the First Amendment. So they know, like, their rights you have to protect. But obviously you do get those Americans that are like, well, fuck you up yours, I've got my guns, I'm alright, Jack. You know, those kind of people. I'm good, thank you, David. But yeah, so I think that's it. I think when you get people that are into, like, weapons and that kind of stuff that are in countries where the rights are a lot more restricted, they know you have to kind of, you know, be sensible with all these things, if that makes sense. And I think that's, like I said, the problem with some places like America, that a lot of Americans take it for granted. Like I said, a lot of them don't. You get lots of really nice Americans that know that, you know, they need to fight for their rights to keep all of them. Because again, those are the type of Americans I was getting commenting on that video I did the other, like, week or a few days ago on the, you know, like how they'll try and push, like, what they've pushed on us in America, like, first we'll limit your magazines a bit. Oh, you don't need a proper stock on your rifle, you know, or a pistol grip.
Yksi vähemmän.
Yeah, my casualties haven't been that high. I'm still under 1,000 points of casualties at the moment. It just feels way worse than they actually are.
Vihollinen havaittu.
Asia selvä. Tarviiks joku paukkuja?
Nyt me saatiin ne.
Oh, we've got contact over there.
Huomio.
See how much anti-air they've got here. Call in some calling an airstrike on them. Can probably afford some more planes, can't I? Alright, let's get a Blenheim. Oh, we can get a load of Blenheims. Okay, let's Blenheim the shit out of them here as well.
Ammukset lopussa.
Vihollinen havaittu.
My Finnish infantry are way better than their guys at least, so that is one thing.
Pääkymppi.
Let's get another airstrike there.
Joka paikkaan tulee osumia.
Come on, anti-air, please shoot at those fighters. Yeah, thank you. Not at all now, Sam, because like I said, because of my financial situation and how much they went up in price, basically further away than I've ever been. Because what ended up happening is as soon as... so at one point, I'd have probably been about 20 grand towards one. And then obviously what happened is they went up massively in price after Putin invaded Ukraine. Because all the boomers started going, oh, we're basically gonna buy an ROC post, even though we don't know how a nuclear thing works, you know, and all that. So boomers ruin everything as usual. They drove the prices up of them to like 50 to 100,000 for a lot of them after that. And then obviously all the cost of living things and all that meant my savings have been going down every month, not up, even when I've been like spending less money. Just like I said, all the things like electricity costs and whatever else meant that, you know, I've kissed goodbye to it basically, sadly. So yeah, at the moment it's more just trying to not end up homeless for me, in all honesty, not rather than saving up for anything. Like I said, next month I'm going to start selling off a lot of my stuff that I don't really do videos on anymore, and at least that should get me a bit of money. But again, I know trying to just sell stuff on eBay and places now, a lot less people have money to buy surplus, so that's probably a case of I'm going to have to sell that really bloody cheap, I imagine, not what it's worth. But yeah, it's just a sad reality, I think, of just how fucked the UK economy is. That's weird, because it's the same developer as Wargame Red Dragon. So yeah, that is weird, Visa, seeing as it's the same fucking developer of the two games, and this is more recent than Wargame Red Dragon. So that's kind of weird. Maybe they had to hire cheaper people. So yeah, I'd say the closest I got to an ROC post was in probably 2019, early 2021, early 2022. But like I said, as soon as the war in Ukraine started, because obviously the two factors you had the war in Ukraine, which again, like I said, with ook, I'm gonna nuke, all the boomers are like, oh my god, I need to buy a nuclear bunker, and they just drove the prices up, and like people that had them knew that they could, you know, put the starting bids on them for more money and all that sort of stuff. And just replying to a message. Yeah, so the boomers drove all the fucking prices up because they did the thing of, oh, it's a nuclear bunker, I can just buy it even if they didn't live near it. And, you know, and people that owned them or owned the land they were on knew that they could get a lot more for them. Obviously, we had that one that fell into the sea the other day, which is now another one that's just, you know, gone forever. Although, again, it fell in such a good thing that really somebody could have just got, like a big truck and put on the back of a truck, really, and steal the ROC post. But yeah, I'm thinking until really the UK sorts its shit out, it's a pipe dream now. And obviously the other problem we had, the other problem we've got obviously is what ended up happening as well is the COVID bills come due, hasn't it? And I think that's one of those things that was a couple of years in the making. But, you know, with all the layoffs and that over COVID and all the things like that. Because like I said, the crazy thing was, even when I was still working, I was working for the best wages I'd ever had in terms of per hour pay. you know, often some weeks I was doing 30-something hours a week, like, you know, those, plus my YouTube income, plus a load of other little side gigs I've got, which aren't very good on their own, but, you know, they all add up to a little bit. And even then, you know, it's just, the fucking price of everything now is just insane. Like, you don't really notice it on individual things, but once you start adding everything up of, like, various, I'll do another game of this if people want to carry on chatting for a bit. But I'm going to play this time as the Allies, because I made another deck I've not had a chance to really play with yet. So let me do switch team, put them switch team. So British Heavy Defence, I haven't tried this one yet, I don't think. Let's play against my other Finnish deck I've built, this one. I'll change the map. I want a small map because it's only me on the map, so it means I have to spread all my stuff out. There we go. This is, oh, that was the one I was just on, wasn't it? Medium. Yeah, when you're playing with other people, I suppose I could put an AI on my side, actually. Yeah, let's do that then. So let's play this medium one, but then let's give both of these the Finnish ones. So I'll give them both that same Finland deck on medium. I'm going to put the AI on my side, though, to hardest, just because sometimes the AI on your side then does fucking retarded shit that gets, you know, so you then lose on points or whatever, because the AI on your team just decided to, like, you know, do Rush B Suka. You know, because again, the joke was that Putin played the war in Ukraine like he was playing War Game Red Dragon. You know, move fast all your tanks down one road. You know, rage quit part way through. Right. So the AI is going on the right side. Okay, cool. So I can go on the east side. So I've got shitloads of 17-pounders, which, like I said, which are fucking great. So I'm not going to actually hold that flag to start with. I'm going to put my stuff in these woods here, so they've got a really good sight line, hopefully. So a bit where I can actually see directly down that road. Yeah, right there.
Setting up, sir.
Whereabouts is it? Again, it's good that you get a line of sight feature, and it's probably there. Another one maybe there. Move one to the tip of that little triangle there with some recon.
Anti-tank team, operational, sir.
Right, we want some anti-air. I've only got Bofors guns in this, but Bofors are pretty good. Yep, put another Bofors and an anti-tank gun in here. Right, okay, so now I want to do artillery. Can I deploy all my artillery in one go, or do I not have enough points for that? I can't do quite all of it, but again, I've got all of these, I think, in, yeah, supply, Matador supply vehicles. So, yeah, let me just make that chat window a little bit smaller again. There we go. And then, yeah, more recon just for the various guns. Right, okay, let's launch. So at the moment, I've mostly only just got anti-tank guns and infantry, plus anti-air, and the AI is moving up there. So I'm going to let the AI do whatever it wants to do, and I'm just going to focus on holding my little bit and chatting with you guys. Right, fire at will for those. As soon as I get my next lot of points, I might as well get my last 25-pounder in.
One more kill.
Oh, those guys are getting fucked down there, though. What allied deck have I got there? It's obviously a Russian one, isn't it? Because they've got loads of Russian gear.
We have men
Also notice that the AI blatantly cheats with its resources like most games, because it's on hardest, and look how many more units it's got than me. I know my units aren't trash tier, low level Russian stuff, but still. Look how many tanks that one AI has on my side, compared to like my stuff.
We've got casualties.
I want to put a command vehicle near them, don't I, of some sort.
We can't take it anymore.
Where are they saying that? I can't take it anymore.
We have men down.
Well, I thought all my guys are alright at the moment. Oh, it's my
Waiting
17
for orders.
powder. Shit, okay. Right, let's fall these guys back. Here's
got
little
casualties.
T-34 should... Oh, I lost that. 17 pounder, that's not good. Yeah, they might be throwing quite a lot of armour down that road, I'm not sure yet. Anyway, as soon as that guy unloads a position there, I need to
Deploy at this position.
give them a command thing, don't I? Like the rifles leader. Yeah, you can just do those guys there. And then they, at least will be quite good in that regard. Alright, anti-tank. Yeah, I can get two 17 pounders up there and I'll use that to replace the one that got destroyed. Yeah, I reckon you'll probably get a massive surplus dump then, because although all the captured guns and that won't be able to be sold in the UK, I reckon you will get loads of, you know, like uniform type things and all stuff like that. Ukraine is producing a shitload of drones now as well, so it wouldn't surprise me after the war if you get a lot of demilled drones, the ones that haven't been blown up. Because, I was watching a thing today where I can't remember, like, Ukraine is, it was like how many, you know, drones Ukraine is producing per hour, every hour of every day, you know. And it was an insane number, and that's why now the Russian casualties have finally got to the point where there's more Russians being killed and wounded than Russia can actually replace. Because just the sheer amount of FPV drones and that Ukraine is making now. And again, Russia is still recruiting more people than that number, but not all those numbers are going to the front. Meth of Madness said, I just found your channel, keep doing what you're doing from Liverpool. Alright. But yeah, so with that, because apparently, like, obviously Russia needs troops for different bits of their border and stuff like that, and like logistics type things. So yeah, they've actually finally got the drone like production capacity up to a number which is more than Russia is deploying troops to Ukraine. And that number is just going to keep going up with more and more industry pumping out drones. Because they signed a defence deal with Germany recently, where they're producing drones in Germany. That's alright, if people comment I read their name out, as long as it's something I'm allowed to read out on YouTube. But yeah, it's one of those things where, yeah, and obviously the factories that they're setting up in Germany can't be bombed without, you know, starting World War III essentially by Russia, unless they do it through some sabotage method. But that does mean that Ukraine there can, like, pump out all those drones and not worry about electricity supply and whatever else. Alright, my 17 pounders got to the front there, yeah.
At your service, sir.
Right, you need to go straight to the front again, those Dutch guys. The Dutch helmets remind me a lot of the East German ones, even though they're, I don't know if I find those to zoom in on. Yeah, those Dutch helmets, again, they're not East German helmets, they're older, but again, I guess it's because they're a Stahlhelm derivative.
Enemy spotted.
But yeah, the Dutch helmets always remind me a bit of the East German ones. Right, let's actually start moving up some armour, shall we? We could do loads of Sherman Fireflies. They don't have HE Sherman Fireflies, because they've only got the 17 pounder on them. But they obviously have a bloody good gun, because they've got the 17 pounder on them. Yeah, that could potentially happen, because yeah, obviously night vision is being used by both sides on the war, and obviously, yeah, some slightly beat up surplus units would be great. Yeah, because like I said, that's the sad thing with night vision, is a lot of it doesn't really get surplus much, you know, unless it's the really old stuff, or it's been damaged enough that a military wants to kind of bin it and sell it. But yeah, It would be good because obviously Ukraine is being supplied with night vision by loads of Western countries. So like loads of mixed different units, like PVS is from America and, you know, various European units. Ukraine is also buying Chinese stuff in bulk, you know, from various manufacturers, thermals and night vision. So is Russia. Russia has its own domestic stuff, which again, through corruption, gets sold on the surplus market already. But yeah, again, when the war is over, it might end up just being sold even, you know, more in bulk on the surplus market. Should I move some anti-air up on that left side to help the AI out? So I don't know how much anti-air he's got. I'm mostly going to stick the anti-air where I've got my units though. Because, but yeah. I actually want to move some anti-air up as well with my tanks and a bit.
Another one bites the dust.
Right, the AI is pushed really hard on that west side. So yeah, it turns out the hard AI is actually pretty good, but like we said, it's cheated with the sheer amount of units it spawned at the beginning of the game where it's not had the income for it.
Scouts, at your orders.
So I'd assume in this game the AI difficulty doesn't change much in terms of how smart the AI is. I think it's probably more just its income rate. So if a very hard AI basically has infinite money to call stuff in, so although it will run out of units, if it loses all of them, it basically starts off by calling everything in, which means obviously they're much better at pushing things because they have way more armor in one area, so they therefore have less losses.
We've got casualties.
So can I set my things to counter battery fire actually?
Ready to supply.
Counter battery, right? Because obviously they've got some artillery somewhere, probably those that are trying to hit my stuff over my side. Artillery up there. Yeah, artillery's quite derpy. Right, let's get a load of Shermans up on that right side as well. Right, all those Fireflies there,
Recon units at your
I will
orders.
push towards here, because that's where obviously they've got all that shit there. Well, that I've personally purchased, my ADNV night vision, because that's essentially digital Gen 3. I can't remember how much I spent on it, but it's in the thousands. Again, that was when I had more of a disposable income. And the good thing with night vision is, unless you break it, it doesn't really go down in price. Especially digital night vision, like because of the fact that obviously you can't burn out the tubes or whatever in it. So again, like I said, I have at least got the option that with a lot of my stuff, I can sell it, you know, to get money back. But obviously, like I said, the problem is that you still have to find a buyer that is going to give you a reasonable price for something. Because one of the main issues I was saying is that I think as people have got poorer in the UK, it's much harder to just sell something on eBay for a reasonable price and find a buyer quickly. You know, you either have to keep dropping it in price or
What are your orders, sir? Engaging target. At your orders,
move up
Captain.
that AA to close to where my 17 pounders are. Rifles.
Enemy spotted. Be ready.
Duplicates are some of the stuff, but again, a lot of the duplicates I buy are more when it's stuff like, you know, that gets damaged easily or stuff like that, if that makes sense, or I've just seen something that was really cheap. So like with the MM1 gas mask I've got back there, I bought that one when it was 30 quid for the mask. It came with a satchel, a hose and a filter and all that sort of stuff. Now people want well over 30 quid for just the masks alone, but it doesn't mean you can necessarily sell them for that. It's just the, you know, the inflation of them because the surplus has run out, sort of thing.
At your orders.
Like, one of the things I did buy a lot of duplicates of was when sometimes, like, say the British Army sells Geiger counters really cheap because they sell them in bulk surplus. So they're the sort of things where sometimes I, you know, like, because if they're selling them for 30 quid, but they're the kind of Geiger counter that would normally be 200 odd pounds, that's where sometimes I will buy more than one, because of the facts that, you know, I know that later on if one breaks I've got spares and repairs, or you know,
That was close. Good job, gunner.
sort of sell them, you know, for that reason. Oh, one of my fireflies got destroyed. What killed that? Oh, maybe there was infantry.
What are your orders, sir? It's hot in here. Successful hit. One more hit and we're done.
Yeah, I don't have a stupid amount of duplicates though, saying that, because like I said, it more, because if I'm doing something on video, there is no point in having loads of one type of item, if that makes sense.
Successful hit. Successful hit. Ounce of ammo.
Verkenners tot beschikking.
Enemy spotted. Be ready. Good job, gunner.
Again, I want my stuff to go for the Sherman, not the little light mortar that was there.
Kans is geraakt.
Oh, do we win? Okay. Anyway, massive thank you to you, Sam Davidson, for the really generous donation. I do really appreciate that. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to do a stream later on tonight, as said, like sort of 5 PM, 6 PM time, or whatever I normally do. Again, it does sometimes vary on the day. But, like I said, I was doing this one earlier to get that chat window set up for the live stream. Because, like I said, I did have to start one stream, stop a stream. And I didn't want to, you know, do a stream when loads of people were on and then have it cock up. So, what I'm going to do now is stop this stream and be back on later. But yeah, so this seems to at least be working. But like I said, the annoying thing is there should be a better way of doing the chat than I've currently got it. So I might do a bit of research after this stream to see. But again, I can't actually test them until I'm live streaming, which is the problem. But this at least works for games. But like I said, it is a bit annoying because this is a paid-for program, supposedly, that I'm using a trial version of now to overlay that YouTube window in that bit of the screen there. And it's, although I can like edit the opacity, I can't make it display on top and then still be able to click behind it. Because obviously what I want with that window is to be able to actually really click behind it, like most game overlay ones, but for whatever reason, how YouTube currently works with it doesn't seem to work. But again, I might be able to figure out a way of doing this, but and again, I don't know how much this program costs, because if this is fairly cheap software for you know, actually buying, it might, and it's like, assuming it's not a subscription thing, because I don't want it if I have to keep paying for it month on month. But at least it should improve these live streams a lot, because at least it means I can read the chat out properly without looking at tiny font on my phone. And because it's actually in the game window, I keep seeing the chat and remember to chat with people. Whereas when it's on the phone and if something intense is going on in the game, you don't get a chance to sort of reply to it. Because like, if you can see there, I with the privacy policy thing, say mod center and options, I can't click the stuff that's underneath that chat window. So I'd ideally want one that, although it displays on top, you can still click behind it for games. So yeah, there's that. Like I said, I will have a bit more of a research in a bit. Because like I said, because I'm currently using this Meld Studio, which is meant to make a lot of this stuff easier to do, but like I said, at the moment it's still not perfect. Yeah, but yeah, cheers Sam anyway, and yeah, thanks to everybody else that's been on. I don't think there was a video scheduled to go on at 12 today. Because I said on some of the days recently I've been doing a regular video as well as a short. But today I haven't done that, just simply because of the fact that, you know, I was a bit busy and I didn't really know what to do a video on that people wanted to watch. I might do a proper video on the bar mace, because I've got quite a few videos on the bar mace. Like one of my shorts on the bar mace gets loads and loads of views. So what I might do is just a normal length video on the bar mace, answering a load of questions with it in a standard like rectangle video where I can go over 3 minutes. Just because, like I said, the bar mace video gets quite a lot of views, but that doesn't mean any other videos I do on it necessarily will. Sometimes the YouTube algorithm just likes something and keeps liking it. But yeah, I'll probably do it on the bar mace and stick that up at some point today. Because at least that way, if people have the frequently asked questions, they might see that video and not keep asking them in the comments. Because I keep getting the thing where people say, with this, oh, why don't they do a sharp version, or why don't you sharpen it? Because a mace doesn't work if it's sharp. The whole point of a mace is it's blunt force trauma. It's not a sword. Because if you had this sharpened into 4 blades, it would be more like a sword stick, I guess, of some sort. But that means it's not very good at blunt force trauma. So yeah, I'll probably do a video explaining that. Because again, if people watch it, then it's worth doing a video on it. And again, if people in the comments want to suggest videos, as long as they're sensible things, I don't mind doing suggested videos. It's just a lot of the time I get the thing, you know, where people suggest videos I've already made, because YouTube's not notified them I've done that as an actual video. So anyway, have a good day, everybody. Like I said, I'll hopefully stream again tonight. But yeah, I just wanted to do like a test stream and do a setup stream so we knew this worked. So works well enough, but I would like to improve it.